in terms of my, I haven't been outside of Cook County since I got elected. And so this was kind of a surprise. I was elected in 1999. I started in the House of Representatives. So this was a surprise. And in a way, it was really exciting because I have an opportunity now to meet new people, to go into a new area, to organize. And I think we could definitely use some organizing out your way. In McHenry County, I have part of Lake County, which I hadn't had before as well. And to, hopefully build for more Democrats. This is a really good opportunity. My understanding is that of McHenry County, I have a pretty decent Democratic part of the county. So that's good news. But even so, and so, one of the messages that I think you want to pass to people in general in the area, one of the things that I am so proud of is that we have a fantastic, in the congressional office, the service part of it, the way that we help constituents. I call them constituent advocates, and we probably do, I think we do better than anybody in any congressional district in the country to meet people's needs. So if you run into, oh, I'm a Republican, blah, blah, blah. If you need help, if they need help, I'm going to be there for them too. But in the meantime, we're going to be organizing for the races that we have all on up and down the ballot. I look forward to, and those of you who saw me work for Sean Casten the last time, that's who I am. I am definitely going, want to help other candidates as well. I had the pleasure last weekend of meeting Suzanne Ness, a new state representative, Democrat from the area, which is very cool. I don't know, is she the first to serve in McHenry?
To my knowledge, she is. I'm not real sure about that one.
I think she may.
I think that's true.
One of the first, anyway. So things are beginning to change. The Democrats have an agenda for the people. The Republicans have no agenda whatsoever. If you ask them what they're for, it's really hard for them to say. They're against a lot. They're against the Democrats. And so we have a great opportunity. I want to mention a couple of races that we all want to highlight. We have two Supreme Court races in the state of Illinois. So we know how important at the national level, and we are so excited. In fact, the hearing begins tomorrow for our new nominee, tomorrow in the Senate for our new nominee, the first African-American woman ever, but one of the most qualified ever as well to be on the US Supreme Court. But we have two seats, and these are super important because while Illinois has been able to pass a lot of great bills, if we do not have a majority on the Supreme Court of Illinois, all of those things can go underwater because of the Supreme Court here. So, everybody, we want to make sure that we get them out. But really, mostly, I'm looking for your advice on what are the things that people in your community want to hear from me. I could talk about all of the things that we have passed that have helped working families, businesses, women, children, early childhood education, older adults, healthcare, the cost of prescription drugs, all things that I'm working on and have worked on for now decades to get done. But under this Biden administration, let me just say this. This is a whole different attitude about the role of government. For the most of the time, that I have been in Congress, and most of that time has been in the minority. Of course, I had the pleasure of being Barack Obama's, one of his, the heads of his campaign, both of his campaigns, a co-chair. And so, things were much better under him. But let's remember, in the second part of the Barack Obama agenda, the Republicans gained control again of the legislature, so the Congress. So it was very hard for him to move things along. But meantime, we have a president who believes that we build an economy from the middle out, and the bottom up. And as I said, all the times I've been in the Congress, the wealth has gone to the wealthy. The rich got richer and the poor got poorer. When Joe Biden spoke just a little while ago at the State of the Union, he said this. He said, he doesn't have anything in particular against wealthy people, but he does insist that they pay their fair share. That was the biggest sell line of any when they measure people's reactions. That was the big line that ordinary Americans really agreed with, that the rich have to pay their fair share. For too long, under the Trump administration, we saw $2 trillion in tax cuts, 83% of which went to the top 1%. It's got to stop, and it can stop with us. But it can only completely stop with us if we maintain the majority in the House of Representatives and just gain a couple more seats in the Senate. We're this close, just a couple more seats in the United States Senate, and the sky is the limit. And we can pass transformative legislation. I'm not giving up, by the way, on Build Back Better and all those things that are going to provide child care, are going to provide elder care, lots of it, $1 trillion of it to, Joe Manchin wouldn't vote for it, but we think we can get a bunch done before the end with Joe Manchin's help on the climate, on home care, all kinds of good things. So, but we have to maintain our majority in the House, grow it, I hope, and we have to win in the Senate as well. The thing that we need people to believe in right now, Evelyn, you said I'm a positive person. I am a positive person. You need to be a positive person. There's a lot of pundits out there on television. My advice, by the way, is watch less television, especially when they start talking politics. And even, and even on the political side, less newspapers, because, the Democrats are in disarray. That is not true. That is not true. We just don't have quite enough. We're like 98% in agreement, but we're missing those two in the Senate. So Democrats are united, and we can win. Redistricting went okay for us. The Republicans were saying, we won. They said right at the beginning, as soon as Joe Biden won, when they saw the districts that they thought that they were going to be able to draw. No, it didn't work out for them that way. The courts intervened. The numbers didn't work for them. We can win in the districts as they are drawn right now. And we can win if people believe we can win. And that's what worries me right now. And that's what I want to talk to you about. How do we convince people that we can win? And when we do, we can get great things done for them. I mean them, in their homes, in their households, in their jobs, better jobs for people, that we can really clean the environment. We can do all these things if we have the majority, and we can. So that's the idea that I want. Now, I know I'm going into an area where Republicans have dominated, but not entirely. We have the state representative. Now we've got you. And the more we organize out there, the more we can win. Bring it home for up and down the ticket here in Illinois, and we can bring it home. So that's my pitch. That when we fight, this is how I like to end rallies. When we fight, we win. En español, cuando luchamos, ganamos.
Sí, sí. Thank you. Gracias, señora. Thank you. So I really appreciate you sharing that. And I'm really motivated. It doesn't take much to motivate me though, when people are in charge, and when people are disenfranchised. That seems to be like my cup of tea. It's like, don't accept no for an answer. And for me, I don't care about the size of the group. I care about the commitment of the people that are in the group. So I just really appreciate everything you've said. And I'm sure I'm speaking for John and Kate too. And for us, I believe that part of our situation now has to do with COVID. Before COVID, we were pretty okay. We were meeting in public. We had a decent sized group, but a lot of our members are just a little bit disenfranchised because of that. And for that, I would have to say, I think we can move beyond that to a certain degree now. And I believe that we're ready. Sometimes people just need a little boost. And I think you've given it to us today. And I will be sharing that with the people that I know.
Let me tell you this, I'm more than willing to come out there. We're Zooming today, obviously. But I am more than happy to let's set what's a reasonable number of people we can get together in person.
I believe we could get at least 35, 40 people together in person.
All right. Well, that's big. So let's make a goal of a 30-person event. You can work with Ben.
Okay.
I'm absolutely ready, willing, and able to come out and talk to people, try and really encourage them to get involved. How cool would it be if I won my new section of the county? I mean, that would be
brilliant. Wow. Absolutely
right?
Fantastic. Yes.
Okay.
And I will definitely be working with Ben to do what we can do here to get a public meeting together then as soon as possible. And one of the areas that we used was the public library in Crystal Lake, and that seemed to have drawn a lot of people in that particular area. So would that be okay with you?
Make sure you can have a political event at the library.
Oh, we've had them before.
You have, okay.
Yeah, we've hosted Sean and Lauren at the library before.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
Excellent.
Not a problem.
I do have an opponent. Unmute yourself, Ben. What's his name? John. He ran against me before, not last time. But
John Ellison.
John Ellison.
Okay.
Nice enough guy. He's a minister. He has no clue about Congress or the issues. And he likes to come to debates. And we beat him by how much, Ben, last time?
75-20 or 75.5 to 24.5.
Yeah. So, that should be okay. Some people, in the district are just gonna, press the R button, but let's try and get that number down as low as we can. And I can, if they can hear that I'm out there, that my people are out there, that we're going to help them, Republican or Democrat, then I think we can do it. But meantime, let's inspire the Democrats.
That's right. Absolutely.
Feel empowered, to feel strong. And I think I'm in it. So,
okay.
And I know you are too.
Yes. And you know what I think would also be appealing to a lot of people too. I received your newsletter. I think it comes out every week. And I'm very impressed by that because I think you just shared what's really practical and doable, and what you were doing for the people is very clear to me.
My plans and pans, the thing I narrate, or no?
Yes, I love it.
Okay.
love it. I think I've received 3 now since you came on
Okay.
board. And I
Okay.
just find them so very helpful, but not just that, very personable. And that's what people are looking for, because sometimes we feel so distant from Congress people. You don't make it that way, from my perspective. You make it, it's almost like I'm just there, I'm just right there with you.
Well,
And I
you know,
really appreciate that.
what I love about that is I get a lot, it's plans and pans. Then maybe you can help people if they want to sign on to it. I know it's a
Absolutely.
government thing, but, you know, get Miguel, tell people how to sign in. But anyway, I get all the, basic issues that I want to cover, and then I just talk
Yeah.
about them. And so it is very personal. I'll often tell personal things. One time I had my dogs on. One time I had my grandchildren on. So, you know, in addition to kind of filling people in on what happened during the week, they also get a sense of me.
Mhm.
And I think that personal connection, Evelyn, is, you're right, that it's really important. I think people feel so distant,
Yeah.
so distanced from their elected, especially when it gets to the federal level. You know, I mean, I get people, oh, I don't know, you know, is it all right to call you? And is there, can I really get on the phone with her? My hallmark is accessibility. I want to be available. I probably do it too much, but I hand out my cell phone almost everywhere. And, you know, and people call me. And I'll tell you, sometimes it is, you know, especially in my district, workers and janitors, and they call me Jan, and
Mhm.
I'm happy for it. And
Mhm.
waiters, Jan, I love that.
Mhm.
Because I want them to feel that their friend Jan is going to do her best for them at home and in Washington. And of course, right now in the world, we got our hands on it. So that's why I'm about to do MSNBC. It'll be about Ukraine, of course. Pretty much everything now is about Ukraine.
Right.
But there's a lot of things that need to be done at the domestic level. You know, equity issues, and I'm sure, Evelyn, you're concerned about those. When we look at the disparities between white, African American, Latinos, it's disgraceful. It's really disgraceful when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to housing, when it comes to basic rights. And we can change that.
Mhm.
You know, we can change that. And that's what we have to believe. That's what we have to work on. And that's what we have to inspire people to do.
Absolutely. And I believe that the information that we're putting out there has to be as strong as what the opposition is putting out, because the opposition is really good about their messaging tactics, you know,
Well,
and
let me interrupt you. You know, I hear that all the time. Republicans are better at
I'm not
messaging.
saying they're better, but I do say they message differently.
They message, but I want to tell you something. I always like to remind people that after Trump lost to Joe Biden, they also did not have control of the House of Representatives or the Senate of the United States. In other words, they were the big losers. And we just have to remember, we're the winners. We're the winners. We won the House, we won the Senate, and we won the White House. We have to do more in the Senate for sure. But look at those two Democrats in Georgia who never thought Georgia was going to elect two Democratic senators. Oh my God. And they did. We can do that kind of thing. So yes, I mean, we are gonna work on getting tighter on the message, so it's much more uniform on what we emphasize. But if you poll our agenda on healthcare, on prescription drugs, on jobs, on the importance of labor unions, on childcare and the child tax credit and elder care, all those things off the charts. Americans love our agenda. So we have to make sure that we can message it maybe more efficiently, but they like it.
Yeah, that's what I meant. You know, I think something it's not consistent. I'm speaking only from my perspective and what I hear, you know, because I try to keep myself aware of what's going on. And it's almost like there's a lingering to some of the components that I think could, from as a constituent and as a voter, could be a little bit more cohesive, so that when we're having conversations with those who are not in a party, we can say for sure that this is what's going on. In
Right.
some cases, I don't feel that I can say this is for sure, because there seems to be a battle of the words sometimes in our party.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna, yeah, we want to talk in short sentences, not, you know, in the small print. So,
Yeah, it frightens me sometimes whenever, because I do watch MSNBC sometimes. I'm like, so this person said that, and that person said that, and they're in the same party, and that's really confusing.
you know, actually, to back up what you just said, the Democrats, we did a poll of what is said on MSNBC.
Mhm.
And not a poll, a survey of what members say on MSNBC. And there was very little consistency in what the message was, what the main message was. So, you know, you're right. We have all got, and that is what the Republicans do. That, you know, they'll just, you know, speak from the same piece of paper, the same hymn book, and say the same thing over and over and over again. And, you know, we like to be creative. Sometimes that's not so good. Just, you know, get the talking points down and say it.
Yeah, I don't want to be disrespectful, John and Kate, they're in Bill's district, but I'm sure they will have questions
Come on,
too.
let's
So
do it.
I'm
I've got
going to
4
defer to
minutes.
them and not do all the talking here.
Okay.
So John and Kate, I'm going to unmute.
And any clues that you can give me of what people most want to hear out in your communities, let me know right
Okay,
now.
John. John might have some perspectives because he works in the immigration field too.
Oh, immigration.
Okay, so.
I'm trying to get in the middle.
Okay, you were unmuted. I don't know why you muted back. There you go.
Now I am unmuted.
There.
Couple thoughts. I really didn't have any. I have one question. It's not really pointed to the district per se, but when you mentioned accessibility and being out, I can tell you that to me was the biggest reason Sean and Lauren won their races. The other two guys, the Republicans before them, were never out. They were behind their castle walls and they didn't want to come out. And Sean and Lauren are out all the time. And besides being just good on policy, they have been out. And I think that really benefited both of them. Immigration is certainly a divisive issue out here. I mean, there's a lot of people that want to get it reform and feel it's incredibly cruel to have anybody behind bars at all. And you've got the other side that says everybody should be behind bars. You don't have a right to be here. You should be behind bars. So there is a lot of push. And I've been in the jail for 7 years meeting with immigrant detainees. And I can say from my perspective, some of those people need to be in jail because of their criminal past, but 90% of them need to be out. Those are civil proceedings. They need to be out. They can be relied on to get back to court, etc.
You know, I helped lead a letter. Illinois, the good news in Illinois is that, as you know, we closed down all the detention centers, right? The bad news is what they do, they ship those people to Texas.
They shipped 80% of them out.
Oh my God, away from their lawyers, away from their families. So, you know, I was one of the leaders of a letter from our delegation to say, just these people are not criminals. They should be home awaiting going before an immigration judge. And, you know, as you know, the vast majority do show up. And and so that was the consequence. It's awful, right, John?
Yeah. And a question for you, mentioned the Supreme Court, and we see how important that is. Within our district, we have multiple Democrats, don't we, running for that seat?
Now, the second district, aren't you?
Yeah. Mhm.
Supreme Court. Yeah, I was just at an event. I'll just tell you, Nancy Rotering is my
That's
first.
the one I was thinking. I've met Nancy, but I don't know the other. There's, I think, two other people running.
I know there's at least one. Ben, is there two? Are there two more? I'm
We're still
scared.
waiting to see how the petitions shake out, but yeah, Kim Rochford appears to be sort of the other big challenger. And there's a
But
third person.
I just I love Nancy Rotering. I think she is just ready for this job. Some people may say to you that she has never been a judge. Well, let me just say that Justice Kagan on the Supreme Court of the United States never was a judge. It is not necessarily the best qualification. Nancy's been a mayor. She's been involved in all kinds of activities in the community. Mayor of Highland Park for a long time. She's run for office before. She's fantastic.
Okay.
So
okay.
that's just my opinion. But
and that was kind of, I liked her when I met her, but I didn't know the other two people. And so often you don't hear as much background on judges as you do others, although with the Supremes, you probably would hear more. So I wanted to get your perspective. So that's good.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think our dilemma right now, though, is getting contact information. Their information is not always accessible. We would love to host them and get to know them better, but I've reached out to certain people and just haven't gotten their contact information yet. So I'll keep trying.
Okay.
Do you guys have it?
Contact info for Nancy.
You can get
I
it?
have it for Nancy, not the other folks though.
Okay, please send it to me then, and we'll
Will
reach
do.
out to her.
Great.
Thank you.
Kate?
Kate, yeah.
Hello. Thank you for being here. I wasn't at the rally that you guys all met at, so it's great to get to meet you face to face, sort of, and get to hear what you have to say. And there's a lot of talk about reaching across the aisle, trying to initiate conversations that would be positive with our fellow Republicans. And I know a friend of mine that is Republican, a Trump regretful individual. I remember her saying Democrats are always like wasting money, or kind of alluding to Democrats being very frivolous with money. How would you reach out as far as, saying, hey, Democrats are saving us money in this way because of this, or what I'm saying?
I want to tell you something. If you look at the economy and the status of the economy and the budget, the country has done better always under Democrats. And all the spending that all of the spending that we're proposing, and it's good to focus on the things we're doing, not so much on the dollar figure, is all paid for as long as we fairly distribute taxes in this country. We're not creating more deficit like the Trump administration did and other Republican presidents. Bill Clinton actually had a budget surplus when he left. And then when George W. Bush came in, that turned into a big deficit. So look, they should look back in history, and that Democrats have always done well, and at the same time have done more for working families, for making opportunities for people to buy their own homes and to have a more prosperity, because that's where the money goes, not to the top wealthiest Americans. And we can get you all kinds of, think about that one. If you think, and I'll also talk on the best way to answer that question and can get that information out to you. Evelyn, you be my contact to spread those things. But yeah, we can give you a good fact sheet on that. Aren't the Democrats too tax and spendy, and can we really afford these kinds of things? the President Biden dug us out of what was a COVID recession,
Mhm.
really saved so many people and families, and has not been as disaster at all for our budget. But I'll get you some more on that.
That sounds
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
make
any
progress.
local projects or things that you're aware
Oh,
of.
well, thank you for that. Thank you for that, because, we just passed what we call our omnibus budget, the budget for, it's really for 2022, because the Republicans kept holding it up. But, I was able to get literally millions of dollars directly in community projects. And we're about to draw them up for the next year. Unfortunately, since I don't represent you yet, hopefully it's a yet, I can't include your communities in there as of now, but maybe we can squeeze them in after the elections. But what Democrats were saying, as long as we control the budgets, we're going to let members of Congress actually, who know their districts better, get the money where it really needs to be. I was able to help school districts, bridges, roads, all kinds, water systems, with the community projects. Yeah, we can do that.
All righty. Well, thank you, Jan. I notice the time is pretty tight right now. It's 2:12. So we really appreciate you being here with us today and just sharing from your heart. And I will work with Ben to start working on a local event and keep you and let you know when that's going to take place. Probably when it's a little bit warmer, maybe, but our team will talk and we'll work with Ben.
Well, pretty soon it's going to be warmer, and I have a not too flexible a schedule, but I have time to do this. I want to do this.
Okay.
So, maybe we can talk to some other people in different places within the new district, and maybe I can do more than one.
Absolutely.
In any case, I'm looking forward to coming out.
Well, I will get as much contact information and reach out to others as I can from Ben.
Absolutely great.
Great, wonderful. Thank you so much,
John,
for
and Kate and Evelyn, and
Yeah.
tell your friends that I'm at their service. And if accessibility, John, is a big term, and the progressive agenda, that if you're an immigration guy, I share with you for sure on those issues. But spread the word that I am looking forward to having the opportunity to represent them. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you. And enjoy your recording, your time with MSNBC.
Thank you. Okay.
All righty. Take care. And
Alrighty.
John and Kate, could you hang around just for a minute, please?
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good
Thanks,
one.
Jan. Okay. It's been a long afternoon. And John, you're on, I don't know why you